talks classic rock. Q1043.
Ken Dash out, Q104.3. It's been 20 months since I've had anybody live in the studio to hang out and play live, and it's just one more giant step to me of us getting back to normal. Welcome home, Warren Haynes, Government Mule. Thank you so much for coming back.
Oh, man, glad to be here.
We missed you. The first live show I went back to, you were there, was Love Rocks at the Beacon Theater, so it makes sense to me that you're the first one back here at Q104.3.
Yeah, you know, and the time flies by, but it's also kind of dragged by at the same time. You know, I don't know how to describe a feeling where it's standing still and moving forward, but that's kind of what it is.
Things getting back to normal because Government Mule playing the Beacon Theater for New Year's Eve, December 30th and 31st. I mean, everybody always says, hey, the shows are always special in New York, but that's really become a touchstone for so many of us.
You know, it's been such a cool tradition that's developed. I don't know how many years now, well over 10,
Yeah.
15. I'm not sure how many years we've been playing New Year's, but it's a long time. And the Beacon's my home away from home. You know, I've played there more than any venue I've ever played.
Really?
And I think I might be the person that's played there more than anybody else. I think it's between 250 and 300 times that I've played the Beacon.
Well, between the brothers and, playing with the Dead and Government Mule and your solo work, and the Beacon has just always been a fit for our type of music.
And it's a great vibe. Butch Trucks and Greg Allman used to say that it reminded him of the old Fillmore, which I was never at. I'm sure you were.
No, I was not.
Oh, my goodness.
I was not allowed. I was 15, and I was told in no uncertain terms, you're not going there.
I would have snuck in somehow. But it's just, I've had so many great shows there, and I just look forward to playing there every time.
So we get that, and we've got a new Government Mule album out, Heavy Load Blues. Congratulations.
Thank you. Our first blues record. This is our 11th studio album.
And you've wanted to do this for a long time, haven't you?
Long time, yeah. At least 5 or 6 years I've been talking about it. I may have told you at some point.
Yeah.
It was the perfect way to kind of deal with COVID. The trick was we wanted to make 2 records at the same time. We wanted to make a normal, if there's such a thing, a normal Government Mule record. And we wanted to make a blues record, but we wanted them to sound completely different from each other.
Tricky.
So we found this place in Connecticut, the power station New England, that had 2 rooms adjoining each other. And we set up our normal toys in the big room with the high ceiling, and we set up a bunch of little small vintage amps in the small room with low ceilings. And we just sit up right on top of each other, no headphones, just playing live like we were on stage in a little small club. And we would go in the big room and record mule songs for the next record all day. And then at night, around 9 o'clock, we'd move over into the blues room and play blues the rest of the night. And it turned out to be a great recipe.
Well, you brought some beautiful guitars up here, and I appreciate it. You want to do one for us?
Sure, absolutely.
It's live at 5. You got to sing for your coffee here. What do you want to play?
Well, we did this old Bobby Blue Bland song, Ain't No Love in the Heart of the City, and I think I can pull that one off.
All right. Warren Haynes live in the studio. God, it's so nice to say that on Q104.3. Ain't No Love in the Heart of the City.
Ain't no love in the heart of the city. Ain't no love in the heart of town. Ain't no love, sure is a pity. Ain't no love since you're not around. When you were mine, I was feeling good. You smile lit up the whole neighborhood. And now that you're gone, oh, the sun don't shine from the city hall to the county line. That's why there ain't no love in the heart of the city. Ain't no love in the heart of town. Ain't no love, sure is a pity. There ain't no love since you're not around. Every place that I go, oh, it feels so strange. Without you here, everything has changed. Nighttime comes, there's a blanket of gloom. Another teardrop falls in my lonely room. And that's why there ain't no love in the heart of the city. There ain't no love in the heart of town. Ain't no love, sure is a pity. There ain't no love since you're not around. And now that you're gone, oh, the sun don't shine from the city hall to the county line. And that's why there ain't no love in the heart of the city. There ain't no love in the heart of town. Ain't no love, sure is a pity. Ain't no love. Oh, yeah. Ain't no love, sure is a pity.
My God, that sounds incredible. Thank you so much. Now, that's the real blues. That's the real deal. Stripped down. Like you said, blues is not about the lighting effects. It kind of has to come from the heart.
Yeah, and, people say, blues is simple music, which is true from a structural standpoint.
Right.
But the people that interpret it and deliver it are just as genius as Miles Davis and John Coltrane, and so I grew up loving that music so much and learning so much from it. I think it captures human emotion better than any type of music that I'm aware of.
You can learn all the chords. You can become a very proficient slide player. Technical ability has a lot to do with your craftsmanship, but at the end of the day, does it make me just nod my head and say, well done, or am I feeling it in my heart? And that's what that music does. When from, a guy playing a 4-string guitar from 1914, I see it at Jazz Fest with an 80-year-old man with a slapboard on the floor, and we're all on our knees crying because it's coming from here.
And you can feel it as soon as, in 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Somebody opens their mouth, and if they have it, then it happens instantly, and there's no denying it. And that's why we wanted to make this record in a way that captured blues like an old recording, because it's not about everything being perfect, everything being as pristine as possible. It's about capturing the moment. And for us, it was about revisiting the way those old records sounded between 1955 and 1975. That's my favorite era of blues recordings. So we're like, well, what do we need to do technically and emotionally to kind of get into that headspace? And
a lot of it is stripping away all of the technical abilities and all the sweetening that you can do and just relying on each other and looking in each other's eyes as you play. And it's absolutely not going to be perfect, and that's the point of it.
Absolutely. And also, we set up in a way that every instrument was bleeding into every microphone.
Intentionally, right.
Yeah, so there was no separation. We couldn't go back and change something later. We were stuck with the live performances, but that's what we wanted.
Before we started, Warren and I were talking about the Beatles and the Get Back in this documentary. And one of the things that John Lennon had said to the original producer of the session, Glyn Johns, he said, "I don't want any of that jiggery pokery." And I know what he meant. Like, I don't want to make Strawberry Fields Forever again. We've done that. We've made the most complex, fascinating, backwards masked symphony, backwards cellos in the world. I want it to be a rock band sitting in a room and playing. And it's hard to be the Beatles and get back to what you and Danny and Matt did to sit down because, as you talked about it, the stress of managing that brand called the Beatles is a million times harder than Government Mule. And even managing any band that has a following is hard.
Nothing could compare to that, to what it must have been like to make decisions based on, are we going to keep the Beatles together? Or are we going to, that's a decision that at that time period affected the whole world, and they knew it. And that's pressure we don't need.
Yeah. Warren and I were talking. You've been with the Allman Brothers, with the Grateful Dead on your own. You've played with so many others as guest stars. And what we see in this documentary is, it's like the band's breaking up and Paul's an ass because he's making them, he's not paying attention to George. But you've been in rooms like I'm sure that was just, if there was a video for every discussion being made during an album that you were working on or a tour, I'm sure the same elements that we saw in this documentary, I don't want to go on the roof. And the director's saying, let's go to Tripoli as this ancient stone amphitheater, and we'll have lights on the water. No, we don't want to leave the country, but we just want to get this done. Let's not do a live concert. And Paul's saying, but there has to be a finish. It's the Beatles. We have to finish high on some big note. We can't just end. And I would guess, without going into details, but have you been in the discussions like that with bands and things?
Absolutely. Yeah. And I'll go one further and say that if cell phones existed in the old days, all of our favorite bands would have broken up long before they did. But yeah, I mean, we had discussions with the Allman Brothers for 2 or 3 years about the right time and place to stop, and we had agreed when and where that was going to be, and of course, it's an ongoing discussion. I was witness to a lot of the discussions going way back before that with the original band and the original members that were still alive. And a lot of the heated discussions would be about things that happened before, maybe even before I was born. Not really, but I remember one time there was this heavy meeting going on, and I was like, "Hey guys, I was 9 years old when that happened. Can we move on to something else?" But that stuff, it's a family. You know what I mean? It's so if you think about the best and the worst that happens to families, it's going to be like that with a band.
My buddy Danny Gottlieb was hired to do the Blues Brothers thing for one tour. Alan Rubin had brought him in, and they get to the first hotel, and it's just, let's sit down for lunch. And, Cropper just says, chicken sandwich, please. And Duck, may he rest in peace, throws down the menu, says, "Goddamn chicken sandwich," and runs out. What? We were on tour with Otis Redding. We stopped at a roadside, and he said, "Get me a chicken sandwich." And he went to the bathroom, and they only had one, and I wanted it, so I took it and ordered him a hamburger. And Danny's like, "You mean like in 1967? 8? What, was that, when did this He goes, "Yeah, never mind." And just what you said, like what rock and roll Alzheimer's, I call it. You forget everything except the grudges.
And the human thing, as we get older, we remember stuff from a long time ago, but maybe not yesterday.
100%, Warren. So, you know what? I asked, because Breakfast with the Beatles, and something I've played a lot, which is you doing Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds at Red Rocks with the Dead, which was just one of the most beautiful recordings I ever heard. Could I impose upon you to do something, either Beatles or solo, holidays, something to play? Because I know you can cover anything.
Sure. Recently I've been doing a stripped-down solo version of "Give Me Love, Give Me Peace," the George Harrison song. Is that okay?
I can't think of anything better with the holidays and Christmas coming than that one. Would you mind?
Sure, I can do that.
Warren Haynes doing George Harrison on New York's Classic Rock, Q104.3.
Give me love, give me love, give me peace on earth. Give me life, give me light. Keep me free from birth. Give me hope, help me cope with this heavy load. Trying to touch and reach you with my heart and soul. Just take hold of my hand. Won't you take hold of my hand so I can better understand you? Won't you please, oh, won't you give me love, give me love, give me peace on earth, give me light, give me life. Keep me free from birth. Give me hope, help me cope with this heavy load. Trying to touch and reach you with my heart and soul. Just take hold of my hand so I can better understand you. Won't you please, oh, won't you? Just take hold of my hand so I can better understand you. Won't you please, oh, won't you give me love, give me love, give me peace on earth, give me light, give me life. Keep me free from birth, give me hope, help me cope with this heavy load. Trying to touch and reach you with my heart and soul.
Warren Haynes, thank you so much for being in the studio with us today. Government Mule, Beacon Theater, the 30th and 31st. You just have to be there. That's the way to end this crazy, crazy year. Nothing will give you more love and hope and peace than being at that show. Grab this new album, Heavy Load Blues, recorded, as you said, live in the studio, everybody listening to each other. No separation, no separate headphones. You're here with all the guitars. Can we get one more from you, from the album, maybe?
Yeah, sure. We opened the album with this Elmore James tune, Blues Before Sunrise, and it's I kind of wanted to keep it like the original, kind of stripped down Delta traditional slide, but like the Elmore James electric version of that. So I can do that.
Let's do it. This is Blues Before Sunrise off the new Government Mule album, Heavy Load Blues. Warren Haynes at Q104.3.
and the blues before sunrise, tears standing in my eyes, and the blues before sunrise, tears standing in my eyes. Well, it's a miserable feeling I can't despise. Wanna leave you, baby. You know you done me wrong. I'm gonna leave you, baby, 'cause you know you done me wrong. Well, gonna pack up my suitcase and down the road I'm gone. Gonna leave you, baby. Oh, you know you done me wrong. Got to leave you, baby, 'cause you done me wrong. I can't stand it, baby. You have messing my happy home. So goodbye, pretty baby. I see you some rainy day. Well, now goodbye, pretty baby. I see you some rainy day. Well, I can't stand to live now. Can't let you have your way.
New York's classic rock, Q1043.